Good point. I do miss the nose picker.
Jimmy.
I do miss my guy Boeheim.
Where is Jimmy?
Oh, by the way, here's one for you, Stink.
Yeah.
You know me. You know I love a good wedge drive. All right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always
So
have.
we've been running the promo of you advocating for Taysom Hill. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
You like the idea of Taysom Hill.
Sure.
If he's cut loose by the Saints, you love the idea of Taysom Hill coming here to the Broncos. Our Josh Dover. Stink's name was not mentioned directly, but indirectly, you can tell he was thinking of you.
I'm not a Taysom Hill guy. I've never been a Taysom Hill guy. Is he a cute little gadget kind of player that you might be able to find a role for?
Cute.
5 times in a football game? Maybe. Probably more like 2 or 3 times in a football game. He's been one of the most overrated players in this era of football, in my opinion. You remember all those big plays that Taysom Hill made for the Saints on their way to a Super Bowl? Oh, you don't? That's because they don't exist. Taysom Hill is a good, fun little gadget player. When you're at the 2-yard line, could you line him up in the Wildcat and he can find the back of the end zone 50% of the time? Sure, he can. At 35 years old, are you going to rely upon that and risk future assets to bring that in?
Right.
I know I'm not.
All right.
Wow,
Josh,
that was definitely at Mark.
Josh
Straight
put himself
at you,
out there. I
Mark.
give him respect, but okay, Josh, here comes your, perhaps your comeuppance. Go ahead, Mark.
Did you hear what he said? I mean, do you see? Is he a nice player that you can line up on the 2-yard line and he can score? Oh, I didn't know it was. Is scoring not important? Like, are you trying to get more points than the other team? So you're telling me that you can line him up on the 2-yard line and he's going to score, but he's just a nice little player? He wasn't around when they went to the Super Bowl in 2009. That's why he didn't make any plays in the Super Bowl. Like, that's just foolhardy. Foolishness. It's foolishness. Like, I can't even get angry at that because that's like, Mike, that's like you giving somebody like plumbing advice. Like, you don't know anything about plumbing.
No, that's
right?
why I tell you to go with Copperhead Plumbing.
That's
Copperhead.
right. That's right. Like, hey, just get Copperhead. They know what they're doing.
Ding, ding. Exactly.
Right. Like, you don't know what you're doing. Like,
I know what I don't know.
Josh telling me that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, it's cute. Hey, that's cute, Josh. That's great. He's a great little player.
No, there was a role for him, right? And he was really good at it. I think he did have a huge value. I mean, a guy that could do a little bit of everything, right? To Mark's point, so I'm kind of in between both of them. To Mark's point, it's that's a value. I mean, how many times have we been at the 2-yard line and had to settle for a field goal? So if you add that dimension, and not even at the 2-yard line, how about a 3rd down and 1, and we can stay on the field? I don't know, 7 or 8 times throughout the course of the year. There's a value there, but, he's getting older. He just had a bad knee injury, ACL plus, other damage in the knee. I just think, okay, turn the page on that. We need to find the next Taysom Hill. How about that? Let's go out and find that guy. So I just don't know.
But if it's a good deal, if it's a really good team-friendly deal.
Well, what is that? Okay, give it to me then. What would that look like? What's a good friendly team deal?
I don't know, like a 2-year deal, $15 million.
$15 million? No.
Not per year, $15 million total.
Yeah, no.
$7.5 million, maybe 2 years, $15 million, 10 of it guaranteed.
No, why would you have to pay him that much? How about a 2-year, like it's a $4 million deal?
Right, yeah. If that's the case, okay. I'd do it for that. But I'm not doing 2 year.
I'm not saying
2 year 4. Okay, a couple of year. Yeah, but I'm
not saying you're investing a ton of money into him, but I know one thing. We haven't had production from a tight end in, I don't know, since when? Shannon Sharp? I mean, when was the last time we had big-time production from a tight end? You don't think that he could make a difference in the middle of the football field at that position, catching the ball? Come on.
Well, here's where I'd have to push back on Dover is that you're talking about the second to last game that Taysom Hill played before he got hurt. In a 35-14 win, he caught in that game 8 catches for 50 yards. He also ran 7 times for 138 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also completed an 18-yard pass. I got to ask, how many players have the Broncos had over the last decade that have given you a performance like that?
Not many.
Not many.
If
I'd
any.
say 0.
Yeah.
So be careful calling a guy cute who has on his resume a performance like that you can't even point to one Bronco in the last 10 years who's done something like that. So
Take
put a little bit more respect on Taysom Hill's name
Take
there,
that, Dover. Yeah.
All right?
Be careful. Tread
Grow
lightly.
your hair back, will you please? I miss the hair. The hair was
What? He shaved his hair?
He cut the I think
You miss it.
I miss it because if you're somebody
Wow.
that is lucky enough to be able to grow hair like that, you don't cut it off.
You've been holding that in for. I can tell.
I've
You're
told
waiting
him.
for the right.
Oh, I've told him this. I said I don't agree with the
No,
decision.
no.
I did not
do.
agree with the
I do.
decision to cut it off.
Did
I'm not going to
Did
talk
he
about
cut-
hair
did
with
he,
you,
like-
Evans. We're not going to
did
go
he
talk
shave
about
it?
hair.
Did he
Evans.
shave his
but
hair?
He cut off that you know how he was like a dead ringer for
The Parliament guys.
no, not the Parliament guy.
Struggling.
The guy played the
curls.
jazz guy.
Oh, yeah. Kenny
like,
G.
like a Kenny G or a Michael Bolton. Yeah, he had that look going for him, and I just think that when you're lucky enough to be able to pull it off, you
Yeah,
don't,
but
you
the-
don't,
gotta
you-
the
turn
problem
the
is
you don't end it.
the problem is, I'm sure, like his grandfather came into town and he had it in a man bun or something,
Yeah.
and his grandfather just looked at him with pure shame in his eyes. Just shame. Like
shame?
what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
I never
And-
recommended when he put it into a man bun. I told him that
No,
too. I said, let it flow, my
no.
man. Let it flow.
Yeah, let the locks flow.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the flow of the locks,
Yeah.
but he probably, like I said, Grandpa saw it in a man bun, and that was it. I mean, it put him into cardiac arrest.
Coming up next, there is a mock draft out there.